Hi, welcome to the. Okay, now we're ready. Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, today's message, I kind of feel like it's a continuation from yesterday's message for two reasons. First, we have the Monterey Pine here. This message or this card also came out with yesterday's message. Secondly, because that's the first time I ever got a message, and we don't, for me, I can't speak for anyone else. So this reading may go down a little bit of a personal route, but I'm gonna roll with it. So let's do it. So yesterday was the first time like I got a message that I really thought about not posting, because I was like we hit some parts that I was like, I just wasn't thinking about posting it. I'm gonna just keep it real, right? And so with today's message, okay, and because a part of that message was talking about judgment, and I was speaking something about the lower four that I call them: fear, shame, guilt, and judgment. And so, in my contemplation of not posting that message, I heard judgment can be positive or negative. So I was like, what? How is judgment positive or negative, Divine? We need to chat, like, enlighten me here, you know? And so I kind of didn't get the clarity of it until today when I went to do today's message. Thank you. And so now I'm getting this clarity, and they're bringing it back all together again. And it was about going within and the beauty that emerges from going within. Now, when it was speaking about judgment being positive or negative, I was like, I still don't get it. So I got clarity on it, and I'm going to get into it in a minute. But before I dive deeper into how judgment can be positive or negative and what it's showing us the beauty within it, I want to give you the key words that I got, okay? So, the key words for this were healing, transformation, inner work. And sometimes inner work, I consider it to be shadow work. Not always. Take it as it resonates for you. So, inner work and or shadow work, okay? Rebirth, purpose. And the key word for yesterday, purpose, was one of those key words, okay? And so today we're adding to that steadfast. So it's healing, transformation, and I'm going to throw in judgment since this is coming up big, okay? Healing, transformation, judgment, inner work, shadow work, rebirth, purpose, and steadfast. Okay? And so let me give you a brief definition of what it means to be steadfast, okay? But as I'm pulling this up, this is about, especially with inner work and shadow work being a part of the key messages, this is about aspects of ourselves that is trying to emerge. And this is what the judgment shows. Aspects, or at least this is how I'm taking it from my going within and sitting with the divine to get enlightenment on this. So if it resonates with you, cool. If it doesn't, catch me on the next message. It's all good. with this judgment, I was getting that it's about aspects of ourselves that are trying to emerge and show us. So it's our shadow, the subconscious, showing us what we're becoming consciously aware of. Did you get that? Your subconscious, your shadow self, the inner work, the going within is going within so that the shadow aspects, the judgments, are now being made consciously aware so that you can integrate those parts of you and or fully express yourself in a more way where you feel whole about the way you're expressing yourself. I know y'all gotta just flow with me. We flowing today. We flowing. Just flow with me, all right? Okay, so steadfast. It was talking. Steadfast is to be unwavering. Steadfast is to be dutiful. So steadfast, it means that the person will calmly hold firm to the chosen position and follow through with determination. So I'm choosing to steadfastly get this understanding of judgment, of how it can be positive, and then how it also can be negative, and also how it is making us consciously aware. As steadfast being one of the key words, many of you are elevating to calmly holding firm to your chosen position, being unwavering. I think that was a part of it, the message yesterday as well. But it's about following through with determination, okay? And so this following through, it's coming from a divine mother essence. We have the mother, Ma, M-A, like what's up, Ma? Mother, Ma, Gu. This is divine mother energy. So as I was seeking this enlightenment about judgment, I feel like it's a nurturing mother that's like, come on baby, sit down, let me have a talk with you. You sit in the rocking chair over here, I'm gonna sit in this one. I got you a cup of iced tea mixed with a little lemonade. Sit on down, let us get some understanding about this. So as as the maiden divine mother set me down to assist me with getting this understanding, which honestly truly came together now as I'm receiving this message. She encouraged me that even when there's chaos in life, even when there's judgments, that it's an opportunity to grow, and that order and light will emerge. So sometimes when we're in chaos, you feel like you're in darkness, but things are birthed and come forth through the darkness. So there is this essence of rebirth happening through even the judgments, through even diving into the deeper, darker aspects of self, that going within. Okay, and so going within is card number 13. 3 and 1 is 4. That going within is bringing back the stability in your foundation, stability in you having the faith to keep going even through the chaos. This card number 16, well, the maiden mother, divine mother goddess, Maiden Magu, is card number 16. 6 and 1 is 7. That's that spiritual lesson. We're now gaining foundational principles, stability about these spiritual aspects. Taking that deep dive today. Because for many of us, this is a part of purpose. That's why the Monterey, am I saying that right? Monterey pine came out again. This card speaks of purpose. I don't usually have cards that repeat themselves for different messages when it comes to the nature cards, but this one did. This one's about purpose. So this is what that looks like. Let me show you that. Wait, there we go. The Monterey pine. And then we have the oak. Now, oak is a very strong energy. It's also a strong tree. This oak is about your outer physical power, because the oak bark, the oak tree is physically strong. So many of you are becoming more physically strong, more physically steadfast. This is also the energy of steadfast. I just noticed there's a crown in this tree. Can you see that? Like a little crown right there. Interesting. But the oak tree produces acorns as well, right? And so this is about the outer physical strength and the inner emotional strength. Because it's going to take, for many of us, many of you, outer physical strength, yes, and a balance of your inner physical strength, hence the going within. Okay? And so I'm getting this energy where the Divine Mother is encouraging us to not underestimate your abilities or your strength of purpose. Even through the judgments. Okay, so let me get into this judgments being positive and negative. Okay? With the judgment, okay, real quick before I go there. Where the Divine Mother said not to underestimate your abilities and your strength of purpose, it's about knowing what you have to do. And if you're not sure, go within, seek guidance, and then focusing on that. Okay? Having faith in yourself. Now, let's touch on this judgments being positive or negative. Because as I said, it's about parts of us that are seeking to be integrated and to be expressed. These parts of you, whenever you find yourself judging another, whether you're judging them in a positive light or a negative light, there's something that's trying to get your attention, to bring it to your conscious awareness from your subconscious. Notice how noticing how you may be judging another or be in judgment of another is one of the quickest ways to get in touch with the shadow aspects, or to go within as you're becoming more consciously aware of something that is happening in your subconscious. Okay? This is because many of you are in this essence of being guided towards your sense of purpose. Let me get into this. Yeah, I had to take some notes, honey. It got deep. So let's get into it. Excuse me. Okay. A positive trait of judgment could be you actually admiring something you see. Nah, I'm going to start with the negative. Because I like to end on the positive. That's why, okay? So, like, when it comes to being negative, right? A judgment that you may be having about someone being negative is if you see somebody who you may be judging as self-centered or they're self-obsessed. I mean, it is what it is, but you may be saying, he think he all that, or she thinks she all that, or who told her she could say that, or she's so self-centered. She's so self-obsessed with herself. Like everything is not all about her. Everything is not all about him. Those are judgments. Whether you know it or not. Those are judgments. You may be right. You may be wrong. I don't know. The fact is that it's a judgment, right? And so what your subconscious, how the Divine Mother was giving this to me, it's like there's a part of your subconscious that may be wanting to make you more conscious, aware, communicating to you your wish to be more supportive of yourself. It's like your subconscious is saying it will no longer allow you to put yourself behind others, but instead it's encouraging you to express yourself and take up the space you need with your presence. Because think about it for a minute. You judging this person because you like, oh, they so self-centered. What are they doing? They taking up space. They're taking up space unapologetically. Now they really may be self-centered, I mean, take it as it resonates. But in your judgment of it, how the Divine Mother was giving this to me was saying, like, there could be something in your shadow that wants to express itself, not in a way of being self-centered or self-obsessed, but in a way where you're more easily expressing yourself and taking up your space, not everybody else's space, but your space unapologetically. Sometimes when we're not expressing ourselves fully, when someone else is, you could be like, they think they all that. Anyway, it is not all about you, bruh. Sis, it really ain't all about you. But to them, it really is all about them. And the only person that can big you up as best as you, or care for you, or change your habits is you. The only one that's really, really, really got your back before anyone else should be you. You have to have self-respect and self-love for yourself. Now, not in the aspect so much where you're an arrogant asshole. It's not about that. But maybe in your judgment of them, it's that your subconscious is wanting to make you aware that, like, baby, it's okay for you to express yourself fully too. It's okay for you to take up space, love yourself, care for yourself, respect yourself. Put some respect on your own name. So that was one part of the negative aspects of it, right? And then sometimes when we're in judgment, we get in our emotions about others, like they come down like a waterfall. And sometimes the mouth just going too much because your emotions have been tapped into. You feeling some kind of way about somebody else loving themselves. Take it as it resonates. This isn't everyone's message, but then again, maybe it is. Now, in a positive way, you may actually be like admiring somebody, like, dang, that girl did that. Oh, I like the way she did that reading. Oh, I like the way she put that thumbnail up. Yeah, I'm talking about YouTube. We're on YouTube right now, so I'm giving examples that's coming to my mind right now. You may be in a work environment and you like the way another coworker put their project together, like you're actually admiring them. This is a part that the Divine Mother was showing me is a part of the positive judgment. And I was like, but that's not a judgment. You're actually like giving them accolades. But yeah, it's a judgment. It's just a positive judgment. And what I came into the awareness of this one, it's like with this one, you're admiring like a great talent or skill in someone. And this judgment might just be telling you or showing you, communicating to you a part of your own psyche that wishes to grow and express itself with like a similar confidence. Like maybe you want to be able to make them nice thumbnails, or maybe you want to be able to give your readings like unapologetically, or maybe you're the one that wants to be able to put a project together like that and just have it flow so smoothly. Like either way, there's something in your subconscious, whether it's positive, whether it's a positive judgment or a negative judgment, that's like, baby, you could do the same thing. Or, baby, it's time for you to take up space and care for yourself. Like, what I was getting from the Divine Mother with this meditation, like getting this inner insight to this, is like, your intuition, your subconscious are working together, and it's tapping into like darker parts of your psyche, or even more enlightened parts of your psyche, but it's tapping into those parts of you that wants to consciously like come forward. Take this as it resonates, not for everyone. And see, we have the transformation that came out here again, and transformation was one of those key words. So by us becoming aware of the judgments and these parts of our subconscious that are wanting to become more consciously aware, this is where the transformation happens. This is where we are more able to move through the illusions and then into a higher aspect of awareness, of feeling whole, of even a deeper understanding of self, because you're resonating with what your subconscious is bringing to your conscious mind. Yo, when I got that, I was like, oh, look at me, like tapping in with the divine on a whole nother level. Like, I don't know, I got a little giddy about it. Y'all may think I'm a little out there for that, but it was like, okay, I could see it. I could see it, whether I'm bigging somebody up, I could be doing that because like I want to be able to do that same thing, you know what I mean? Or even if you're like, that person thinks they're all that. Why do you think they're all that? Like, why are you speaking with your mouth? Because remember, words have power. Now, you may not be able to affect that person if they're able to use their I am presence and speak over themselves that much more powerfully than your words. But still, energetically, when you're in a negative judgment of someone, you're sending a negative vibration towards that person. When really you may just be needing to tap into your subconscious and figure out what is it about yourself. Like, this is where the reflection comes up. You're looking at someone, but then they're reflecting something back to you. They're either reflecting on a negative note where you're not taking care of your own needs, or on a positive note, possibly where you're wanting to express yourself in that same kind of freedom. You get where I'm going with that? Whew, okay. That was deep for me. And as you're having this transformation, right? For those of you who are resonating with this message, and then you're going to now be aware of like when you're judging someone, if it's positive or negative, and then what your subconscious, your shadow, your inner self is wanting to bring to your conscious and show you. Be patient with yourself and open-minded, because it's a process when we're going through the transformation. And this is where a lot of people say trust the process, but you're being open-minded as you wait for your intuition to help you realize what's going on within. See? And so Let's give like one more example. Let's say if you see within another person manipulation, because nobody likes to feel like they're being manipulated, right? And so on a negative side of the manipulation aspect that you may be seeing in another, this could be telling you from your subconscious coming to your conscious awareness, that it's communicating with you a desire to be more direct with your own needs. You see, the only way a person can manipulate you is if you haven't made your needs and your desires known. Maybe you didn't know your needs and your desires. So once you recognize that it's manipulation, you can then assert yourself and set your boundaries so that you're not being manipulated. It came from your subconscious so that you're consciously aware of it. The fact that you were able to see that judgment in someone is showing you where that may be in your life, where you're not being direct with your own needs. And then that's where you would need to go within to gain stability over that and be more able to direct your own needs, to set boundaries for your own needs. Do you see how judgment can actually be helpful? Not in a way to be doing it, like don't be going out there judging people, but when you're aware of it, when it's arising within you, because we've all done this. Like if you ever say you ain't judged nobody, you a lie and a half. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. And why I'm staying so deep with this is because it brought this to my awareness. It's not like I go around judging people, but we have all been in that. And then because of that reading yesterday, I was like, Divine, I'm going to sound crazy giving this message the other day. And it was like, why are you judging yourself? Because sometimes we can judge ourselves too. Yeah, don't forget that part. Don't get that twisted. You can be in judgment of yourself where you speak negatively to yourself, but there are times where you're in judgment of yourself and you speak positively as well. When you're speaking to yourself and you recognize that you're judging yourself, what is it that your subconscious is wanting to bring to your conscious awareness? We judge ourselves, we judge others. Most of my judgments are me judging myself. I rarely get into worrying about what other people do, at least at this stage of my life, you know? But that's neither here nor there. It's easier for us to perceive the effects of the shadow rather than the shadow itself. And so judgment is one of those ways where we perceive the effect of the shadow. Remember, the judgment can be positive and or negative. And it's when we think it's not related to us, but in actuality it is related to us, because you may be admiring something in someone or you may be despising it. Like, oh, I can't stand the way she thinks she can oh, he think he all that, and you just despise the way they just being themselves. But why though? Why though? What's coming to your conscious awareness that's asking you to go with the flow? Card number 25, go with the flow. 2 and 5 is 7, and learn this spiritual lesson. What is your subconscious bringing to your conscious so that you're more in awareness of it? What is it asking you to transform on a spiritual level? The divine is saying, as you're going through this transformation, they're at your service. The divine is at your service. Card number 23, 5. When this change, when this transformation is happening, when you're going within and wanting to get this balance, know that you're not alone. You can seek guidance. You can ask about what this judgment is showing you, Or why? Because that's what I did. I was like, how is judgment good, positive, and negative? I'm, if you keep it real, have you ever heard judgment really being positive and negative? Whenever we think of judgment, we'd be like, why are you judging me? Why are you judging me? But you can always have guidance. We have Lodge here with Cancel. This is exactly what I'm speaking of. The divine is at your service. When you're tapping into those shadow aspects of self, when you're taking a deeper dive into your psyche, sometimes we don't want that reflection of seeing something in someone else. Sometimes we don't want to take that deep dive to explore certain aspects of ourselves. Shoot, I'm perfect. No, I'm saying that's what people think, you know? And so when you're shown a mirror of some aspects of self, shadowy aspects of self, judgments of another, sometimes you don't want to face that. And sometimes we need guidance on that. Like if you've been doing something for so long, it may take some help to flip the script on that and transform it. If you've only known that judgment was just a negative thing, but nobody ever said why, never brought to your attention that it's just a part of your subconscious, your shadow self, your inner self that wants to bring something to your consciousness so that you can be more whole. Whole in your emotions so that they're just not overflowing, or you just not, as they like to say today, hating on somebody, so that you can just shed your skin and become a more whole version of self where you're able to go with the flow. Where you're able to release the judgments of yourself and of others. As you're releasing these judgments, this strengthens relationships. Relationships with self, relationships in family, relationships in friendships, relationships romantically between husbands and wives, even in business. Because when it comes to business, if you're able to see where you may be in judgment of another because of a promotion they got or a project that they did, what's your judgment is what your subconscious wants to ask you first. Is it a negative one? If it's negative, why? Is your subconscious wanting to bring to your awareness that you have the ability to also put in the work to get the position? Or if it's a positive judgment and you're admiring someone for a project that they did, or someone for getting a promotion, that could be your consciousness making aware to you that you're desiring to honor those same traits within yourself, that you're able to hold those same positions. And this is the blessing within that, because you're becoming more conscious aware. And that's also the blessing that makes you feel more whole, because then you're not in fear of your shadow, or you're not using your tongue unwisely to cut down another and send out negative vibrations. Then you're able to give without expectation, give compliments, give insight. See, this giving without expectation, a lot of people like to just think of money. But you could give of your time. You could give of your love. And it's not easy for many people to give without wanting something in return. Well, I took you here and I used my time, so I'm going to need XYZ. Or I gave you a compliment, but you never say blah, blah, blah. Or I helped you with a project, giving without expectation. This is where the alchemy happens. Where one substance becomes something else. And this something else is coming from a base product. So being basic about your energy into a more refined essence of your energy. Spinning silk into a fine fabric. Or taking base metals and turning them into gold. Taking fear, guilt, shame, alchemizing it into being more consciously aware, awakened, elevated in a higher vibration. Alchemy. Card number 25. 2 and 5, that spiritual lesson again. We have 777 on the board here. 16 is 7. 25 is 7. 25 is 7. As this alchemy is happening and these blessings of being aware and being more whole are happening, grounding yourself, grounding your emotions. And this grounding is about this being patient and open-minded. As you're being more patient and open-minded with yourself, it's allowing for purification to happen. A purification within heart, mind, body, and soul. In the heart, because your heart doesn't have to be in judgment of another. This then eases the mind. The mind, because you're now aware of what your subconscious is bringing to your conscious awareness. When your heart and your mind are in alignment, that makes your body physically even feel better. And when your heart, your mind, and your body in alignment, baby, your soul is like glowing and flowing like, whoa. Purification. And so, okay, I can move this now. It does take this energy of being kind to self and allowing the feelings to come up. This is why you want to get grounded. Because as you start to recognize the judgment, sometimes the emotions, and where you're recognizing where the emotions are overflowing and causing you to get a little loose with your tongue. It's going to take being grounded as you're purifying these emotions. And allowing the feelings to come up. They're going to come up. Judgments happen so that these feelings can come up. They're coming up for a reason. So that your subconscious can make you now, communicate with you now, consciously, to bring to your awareness, to bring awareness to your conscious. As these emotions come up, though, allow them to pass without fearing them. When they come up and you don't have fear of them, you allow the alchemy to take place, then eventually you'll be able to see the beauty underneath that's being revealed to you. Where your subconscious is making you consciously aware of things. That's the beauty in it. The beauty in the alchemy of it all. Alchemizing that negativity or shadow aspects, call it what you want. Alchemizing that so that you can see the beauty of it. But it does take being kind to yourself and being patient and open-minded, because it's going to take you connecting with your intuition to see where there are judgments that are happening and not be in fear of exposing them and shedding light on them. Not being in fear of allowing them to actually come to the surface and show themselves within you. Because they're showing themselves for a reason. And then you'll eventually allow the beauty to reveal itself. And you'll be able to speak with God mouth here. Speak the words then that encourage you, that uplift you, that heal your spirit, that allow purification. For many of you, when this alchemy happens, you're even going to speak differently is what I'm getting. You won't be so brash with your words. And because you're not so brash and able to, what's the word I'm hearing? It's like your words have more of a healing effect versus hurting, they heal is what I'm hearing. And because of this healing aspect, many of you are going to be connecting with soulmates. Soulmates platonically, soulmates romantically, soulmates business, soulmates. Even within your family, your words are carrying this energy of healing. Because you've tapped into another aspect of your psyche, of your subconscious. And you found a way to alchemize it. Soulmate, card number 34, another 7 on the board. Many of you are getting, through recognizing these judgments, you are aligning your heart chakra. And that's also enhancing your throat chakra with all of this blue here and the God mouth. It's like your heart, I heard your heart is singing, and it's allowing for your voice to resonate with a higher vibrational frequency. For some of you, you may even want to make this like a ritual with ceremony here. And when I say ritual, I mean where you take time to reflect at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, during the middle of the day. I'm hearing more so at the end of the day, but whenever you find it necessary, because something may have happened like during the day and you need to take that time to self and tap into your subconscious, tap into your subconscious so that you're consciously aware of what's happening in this moment. But with ceremony here, this is speaking of taking time regularly. So you set this time to the side where you kind of replay the day. That's why I heard the end of the day, where you replay the day and you see where you may have been in judgment of another, and see where it is that your subconscious was wanting to make you, was communicating to you to bring awareness to you consciously. Now, some of you, as you become very good at this, you'll be able to do it in an instant. Like the minute something happens, your subconscious is going to become aware of it, and your subconscious is going to make you consciously aware of it, and you're going to be able to use your words to instantly change the vibration of certain situations. For others of you, take it slow, be patient with yourself, be open-minded, but set that time aside during the end of the day to just see what your subconscious wanted to make you consciously aware of, okay? And for soulmates and love, for many of you, doing this exercise is going to bring forth a lot more forgiveness, self-worth, and releasing a lot of guilt. Do you see this orange here? This is about the sacral chakra. And then we have the sacral chakra here. So we have 4 cards speaking of your self-worth and how to bring completion to things that don't serve you within your subconscious. Time to have this transformation and release any guilt, a guilt about standing, guilt about being in judgment of others, and guilt of judging yourself. Because now you're more aware of what your subconscious wanted to bring to your awareness. And now this is going to strengthen the foundations of your relationships with self-worth. This is also strengthening the foundations with others. As you forgive yourself, you forgive others. That brings in a more loving vibration and frequency, and that connects you with your soulmates. 34-7, love. 20, card number 22, partnerships, soulmates, forgiveness. Purple, crown chakra, connecting with the divine, being on a higher vibrational frequency, because you're hitting into your subconscious. You're creating neural pathways. Like when you, it's like when you learn something new, right? Something that you may have known, but not until you become very consciously aware of it, then are you able to take action on it. So like somewhere inside of you, you may have known this, but now that you're like implementing it and taking action on it, you're creating neural pathways. These neural pathways are creating like new avenues within your mind that connect with your heart, that give you a more loving vibration, that allow you to connect with others, because you're more self-accepting of and having your self-worth. This allows you to easily forgive yourself, allows you to more easily forgive others, allows you to know more of how to maneuver within your subconscious when things are becoming more consciously aware to you. This allows you to tap into your own self-worth and put an end to those things that need to be released, like guilt, so that you know yourself and know your self-worth. And now I'm going to wrap this up with a few tarot. Can I have some messages, please, to insight, guidance, whatever it is you wish to give us concerning this message? Any more clarity or any additional messages? Thank you for the messages. And only one? Okay, two. Stability and well, I love it. Thank you. All right, now. See? That's perfect. Like, that's just the perfect way to end the reading. We have the Four of Wands and the Ace of Wands here. Four of Wands speaks of stability. The Ace of Wands is that new opportunity, that spark, that divine spark. So it's like, this is that neural pathway I was speaking of. That divine spark within your mind is bringing things together with your heart, and you're going to feel more stable within self, because now you can see how judgment plays a part of things. Now you can see where you're judging yourself and forgive yourself. Now you can see where you may have been in judgment of others and be able to forgive them, and then start afresh. Ace of Wands here. Yo, I ain't even gonna front. I love the way the divine brought this message through. I'm so thankful for the connection to the Divine Mother, how she set me down. Thank you for the rocking chair and the iced tea mixed with a little lemonade. Well, actually today it's coconut water with pineapple in it, but yeah. The message has gone forth. I want to thank you for joining me, Tonae Star. And for real though, like in the comments, those of you that come across this message, even if you only leave an emoji, if you received anything from this message, anything that can inspire, uplift, or encourage someone else, please leave it in the comments, whether it be about a judgment that you've had against yourself, and you're now able to flip the script on that and transform it or alchemize that. Or whether it was even a judgment you've had about someone else, and now you can see how to be more stable in self because you're more consciously aware of the judgment, whether it was negative or positive, and how you're able to create that new beginning. I would enjoy immensely to read those comments. So I want to thank you for joining me, Tonae Star, here with Tonae Star Enterprises, where we stand on business, baby. Business for the divine, of course. And, you know, it's an enterprise. So we just took another voyage to the 5D and beyond, baby. Thank you for joining me. And you know what I say? Always shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you are still amongst the stars. And always let your light shine bright. Let your light shine bright. Always let your light shine bright. Let your light shine bright. Thank you for joining me.